So you said you're taking it Friday?
I'm gonna try to take it sometime next week.
All right.
I mean,
I'm planning on doing mine over the Thanksgiving break.
Okay. All right, so this test prep is pretty much just going to be what to expect on the exam, right? So not actual answers.
Master I.T, you got a website?
Yeah.
I think I know this.
Yeah, you really do.
I do. That's
Yeah.
why it looks so familiar. Okay, no, sorry.
Because a couple of guys that was in the test prep yesterday, they recognized it. So I'm actually contracting for Zach. Let me see. Supposed to do 3 weeks this month and 3 weeks next month.
I didn't know you were from this area. I think
And
I.
I'm not. I'm actually from Houston. Yep, I actually came all the way from Houston.
Okay, I'm from Austin.
Okay, awesome. Yep. So this test prep, like I was saying, is pretty much just to get you acclimated to the actual exam, right?
Mhm.
So the exam is not difficult. It's not easy either, right? It's just pretty much the way that they ask questions is not straightforward, right? So
Right.
they go around the corner, they get on the freeway, they got them send a helicopter and a boat just to go next door. All right, so a lot of the question types are essay format almost. So it's like 4 or 5 lines of text. And like I was telling, what's your name?
Joe.
Like I was telling Joe, we only need 1 sentence out of that whole text, right? Good news is by the time you get in the box, you'll be good to go. So let's get straight into it. Where's my mouse at? There it is. All right, so this is who I am. I'm Rob. I'm from Detroit. Been in IT for a little over 12 years. I got my MBA or Master's in IT Management. Got 12 certifications, all the certifications that they teach here. I'm the best instructor this side of Mississippi, according to previous students. I don't know, hope you guys feel the same way. But I got YouTube after this. If you want to, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Got a bunch of test prep stuff on there. I'm on Instagram, and I got a Facebook group. So let's get straight into it. This is what to expect on the actual exam. So it's a 2-part exam. You need 675 out of 900 to pass 1,001. You need 700 out of 900 to pass 1,002. So really quick quiz. If I pass the 1,001 and I fail the 1,002, do I have a certification?
No.
Okay? If I pass 1,002 and fail the 1,001, do I have a certification?
No.
So how do I get A+ certified?
You got that both.
Gotta pass them both. Easy. All right, so on the actual exam, you're gonna get a maximum of 90 questions, and you get a maximum time limit of 90 minutes. Now, most students get like 80 to 85 questions. Like I was telling Joe, you'll get 90 questions. That's CompTIA's way of helping you out. So let's say around question 82, you're kind of at the midway point. They'll give you a few more questions just to see if you can get a few more points to actually pass the exam. But you can probably expect maybe 80 to 85 questions. Now, biggest thing, when you first get on there, the first thing you're gonna see is simulations, right? So simulations are CompTIA's way of seeing if you have hands-on experience, right? So instead of just a question and an answer, you actually have to fix something. The simulation is gonna be the first thing you see. It's gonna be the first thing you see on the actual exam. So a big question is, should I do them as soon as I see them? Should I wait? That's up to you. That's what I will say. If you get the simulation, right, and that's the first thing you see, if you have no idea what the hell they're talking about, just skip it. Just skip it and wait until you finish the actual test. Because the good news is, the questions inside the exam, a lot of times will give you a hint or spark something like, oh, that's what they were talking about in the actual simulations. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this quick little video is going to show us exactly what to expect when we get inside the box.
Are you wondering what it's like to take a CompTIA exam?
Is that loud enough?
This video will show you the different exam features and types of exam questions. The first item you'll see after the welcome screen is the Candidate Agreement, also called the NDA. You're allowed up to 28 minutes to review this document. These first couple of screens also show you how much time you have to take the test and the score you need to pass. The following features are available to help you during the test. Navigation arrows allow you to move back and forth from question to question. The timer keeps track of time spent. A calculator is available too.
On this exam, we won't need a
Flag for
calculator.
review allows you to skip a question and come back to it later. Time permitting, any questions you flag will be presented to you again. The preview screen will be your final opportunity to review and make changes. Once you click End Review, you can't return to the question section. CompTIA certification exams are comprised of various question types. Type 1, multiple choice questions. Type 2, multiple response questions.
All right, gang, so when you're actually inside the box, don't get flustered, don't get too excited. If it says select 2, make sure you select 2. If it says select all, make sure you select all that apply. If it says select 3, just make sure that you select the amount that it asks. So don't go too fast.
Exam software helps by giving a hint when you pick too many. Type 3, fill in the blank question.
No fill in the blank questions on this exam.
You'll need to type your response. Be careful, capitalization may count. Type 4, drag and drop questions, as seen here. Type 5, questions with exhibits. Click the Exhibit button to view. Some questions may display a graphic or video as an exhibit. You may pause video files as often as you like. Type 6, performance-based questions. Click Simulate to begin. These questions simulate an environment or technology and will require you to perform specific tasks.
All right, gang, so these are the simulations I was talking about. So with the simulations, right, you're probably gonna get 2 to 3 simulations. That's gonna be the first things that you're gonna have to actually accomplish. So these simulations are gonna be a virtual machine, or it may be a PC, but it's something that you actually gotta turn something on, you gotta remove something, you gotta fix an actual issue, right? Good news, bad news is, if you get it right, you won't know. If you get it wrong, you won't know, right? So let's say you put in a bunch of weird commands and you press enter, nothing's gonna happen. There won't be any indication if you did it right or if you did it wrong. So if you press next and you go to the next thing, you won't actually know if you got it right or wrong. So the simulation, let's say you get 3 simulations, right? And then you get 85 questions after that. If you fail all 3 simulations, how many questions do you think you have to get right to pass the exam?
At least the 80.
Yeah, so pretty much the simulations are weighed very heavily. So if you fail all the simulations, you pretty much gotta get every question right. So make sure that you spend the bulk of your time on these simulations, right? So I would say even if you get 3 simulations, it shouldn't take you more than 10, 15 minutes for all of them, all right? And another thing is when you're inside the simulation, there won't be a timer, right? So sometimes students get flustered and in the simulation they're doing stuff and they can spend 30 damn minutes on the simulations, and then when they get out, they got 60 minutes to do 80-something questions. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So just make sure that you constant in that, wear a watch, or just trying to figure out how to get these knocked out. Like I said, each simulation shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, all right? And if you don't know what the hell it's talking about, just go to the next thing.
Performance-based questions are based on multifaceted scenarios. If you feel unsure, you may click the reset button, but you will lose any prior work when you perform this action. The timer is hidden during these types of questions, but the clock is still ticking. Since the question is simulating a real environment, be aware you may not see any feedback that you completed the task. When you're confident in your answer, click Done. To see an example of a performance-based question, visit certification.comptia.org/pbq. Before you click End Exam, you may be asked to complete a short survey. Afterward, you'll see your score. It's important to note CompTIA may add question types to its exams that you haven't seen in this video. Also, all translated exams provide the same functionality as English language exams. Clicking the Exhibit button on most translated exams will show test questions and options in English. The one exception may be performance-based questions. We hope this video helped you become more familiar with what to expect.
All right, so the next couple slides
On a CompTIA survey.
are going to be exactly what to expect on the exam. We'll actually go through a couple different questions, pretty much how to think analytically, how to think critically, and how to knock out the test as fast as possible so you don't waste any time. So you guys are going to be taking the 1001, the first portion. So the 1001 is broken into 5 domains, and then there's objectives in each one of these domains. So we got mobile devices, networking, hardware, virtualization, and cloud computing, hardware.